There is definitely going to be lighting glare on my glasses, and I apologise because I'm trying to get used to my new light, but I need glasses to see, so this is just what we're dealing with at the moment. Hi, I'm Morgan, and today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for the month of June. June is Pride Month, yay! Hence the rainbows and kind of rainbows. I don't have any proper rainbow earrings. And my goal for June is to read queer books. Hopefully written by queer authors, but I'm not sure about that part. So let's just ignore that part and go for queer books. Now, as you probably know, we're still kind of in quarantine, which means that time doesn't exist. So when I was making my TBR, I completely forgot that it was June and hence Pride Month. So I made an actual TBR. And then I realised it was Pride Month and I had to redo it completely. So that was fun. So I searched through my physical TBR and found a couple of queer books, and then I had to go into my reserves, my list of books that I just want to read in general, and I'm going to be reading a couple of them on ebook. The first book that I want to read in June is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a chonky boy. No, seriously. Look at this book. Look at the thickness of this book. It's huge. I bought this at Costco not long after it came out, I believe last year, and it's really intimidating due to its size, but I'm also really excited to read it. Did I buy this just because I heard that there was a female-female romance and a matriarchy? Mayhaps I did. This is a fantasy novel that follows several different women from different kingdoms, and I know that there's like dragons and a matriarchy. I don't know much about it, but I do believe that some of it is gay, and that's really all I need to know for this month. Last year this was a heavily anticipated read for a lot of people, but I haven't actually seen a lot of reviews around it, probably because it's so huge. So I'm excited to actually read it and figure out if it was worth all the hype or not. But this is going to take me so long. Like, it's going to take me forever. Please pray for me. The second book on my TBR is Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. This has zombies, people of colour and LGBT rep. It is perfect for me. This, I believe, is set in the kind of Civil War era, and it follows a black girl who is trained to kill zombies, I think. I love interesting takes on zombie stories. The genre of zombie fiction is one of my favourites, whether that be books, movies, TV shows. I just love it. And this seems like a really interesting take on traditional tropes. I believe that there is LGBT rep and that the main character is queer, but I don't think she uses any specific label. Can you guys hear that? I don't even know what it is. Who knows? And while explicit rep is really good because we all like to be represented, I think that subtle rep has a place too, because it reminds us that sexuality isn't the only thing about a character, and having characters of different sexuality and gender identity in genre fiction just kind of normalises it overall, because queer people are everywhere. So we're going to be everywhere in fiction too. Like, the story might be about running from zombies, but that's not going to stop anyone from being queer, you know? Like, I'm still going to be gay if there's aliens attacking. That's just how it is. So as I was scrambling to figure out my TBR and looking through my physical TBR, I realised that all of the books with queer rep that I wanted to read recently, I have read over the past like 2 months. You can see that in all of my wrap-ups. Will I link them? Perhaps I shall link them. I don't know. But because I'm a moron who doesn't know how to plan ahead, I don't really have any LGBT rep books on my shelf right now. However, I have hundreds of books on my forever TBR. and I call it my forever TBR because I will probably be going through it forever. Some people just say my Goodreads TBR because that's where they log all their books, but I also have a physical copy of it, which I started when I was like 14, so there's some real gems on there. And I had a look through this forever TBR and found a couple of smaller queer books to add on to my TBR. Specifically smaller books because of the size of the Priory of the Orange Tree. I might read some other books in the month of June, but I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see how it goes. The first ebook I want to read is Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Mateer. I think I pronounced her name right, hopefully. Sorry in advance, Trista. I say that like I know her personally. I just like to refer to authors by their first name, okay? That's just how it goes. This is a queer mythological poetry collection, and that sentence is perfect for me. It's 3 of my favourite things. I've wanted to read some of Trista Mateer's poetry for quite a while. I follow her on, I think it's Instagram, so I've read some snippets of her stuff and I really enjoy them. So I'm excited to read some full poems and indeed a collection of poetry. During quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, I've mostly just been in the house. The last time I really saw a lot of my friends was at Unislam, which is a weekend-long poetry competition, and I really miss watching people perform. I miss hearing poetry by a whole range of different people. I miss hearing my friends' poetry. So I'm really looking forward to reading this poetry collection because it's not going to quite be the same, but it is going to be poetry that's my kind of poetry, my kind of genre, and hopefully that will tide me over until I get to go to an open mic again. And the last book on my TBR is a short story collection called All Out, the no longer secret stories of queer teens throughout the ages. I think that's the whole name. This is a short story collection by various authors and edited by Sondra Mitchell. This came out a few years ago. It's been on my list for quite a while, and I believe there is now a second story collection out or coming out, I'm not entirely sure. This is a selection of queer short stories that are diverse both in genre, where there's retellings, historical fiction and more modern fiction, and also in the range of identities that are included. The first 3 books on my TBR mostly focus on queer women, and that is because as a queer woman myself, that's what I'm drawn to. But I do want to read more widely, and I believe that this has a range of identities in it, and I think this is a good place for me to start. And that is my TBR for the month of June, chock full of prideful books. I'm going to try and post a couple more videos that have queer content, queer recommendations. I don't know, I'm just excited to celebrate Pride with you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, or if you have any plans to read queer books in the month of June. If you want to come say hello, you can chat to me in the comments, or on any of my social medias which are linked in the description. That is my Instagram, my Twitter and my Goodreads. So come talk to me and hear me moan about other parts of my life, not just books. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I'd love if you could like, comment, subscribe, come back and hear what other weird things I have to say. But for now, happy Pride and thanks for watching. Bye!